You might have noticed that CVS's like this become a weird ghost town. Just a few people staffing an entire store while crates stack up, lines wrap around the aisles, and the one cashier has to go help someone in aisle 5 unlock deodorant that is, for some reason, imprisoned behind plexiglass.
Or you go to a pharmacy to buy aspirin, to buy a toothbrush, and it takes you 45 minutes to get a clerk to open up the glass.
What is going on here? This is a company that made $8.3 billion last year. So I started digging, and what I found was shocking. The chaos on the front of the store is just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, pharmacists at CVS and local pharmacies around the country are sounding the alarm about a deliberate strategy that is putting lives at risk and threatening a key service that we all rely on to get the medication we need.
Ohio issues serious sanctions against one of the country's largest pharmacy chains for endangering patient safety.
Boy, they hitting it with endangering patient safety. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, CVS, they finna catch some heat. But last week we did a video talking about dollar stores, right? And I was just, the title was dollar stores going out of business. They're not really going out of business, but it's a couple of them shutting down. And it's the same issue as what we're seeing here with CVS, which is essentially staffing issues and customer service and customer experience, right? This stuff matters. Like in the video that I'm referencing, that I'm talking about last week from the dollar stores and stuff, I talked about how I tell everybody that moving forward in the future, companies are going to start getting left behind if they don't lean into either AI and artificial intelligence and automation, or the more human aspect, the more personable side of the business, right? And in something like a CVS, where you're already starting to see self-checkouts in the CVS, but in a store like this, the appeal is that like it's typically your local pharmacy, right? This is what's stopping you from having to go to the doctor's office just to get a prescription, or what I'm saying. This is what's stopping you from having to go to like a larger pharmacy, right? The CVS is where you can run in locally, what I'm saying, after you get done with your doctor's appointment. You can tell them to send your prescription to this CVS, and you can just run down the street and grab your prescription real quick, right? So being that that's the appeal of the CVS, why do they not lean into, just having a better like local customer experience? Like why would you not lean into letting the CVS be more of a pleasant shopping experience, especially when a lot of the time when people are going into a CVS, if they're not going in there specifically for a prescription, they're going in there for, some kind of over-the-counter medicine, some kind of, whatever you may be going to CVS for. But typically when people are going to CVS, there's something wrong with them, right? And they're going to CVS looking for a solution. So why not lean into making it more of a personable experience? And why the question, like I need answers from somebody. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I need to know why every time I walk into CVS, it's only one person working in the entire store. I need to know why every time I walk in the dollar store, it's only one person walking in the entire store or working in the entire store. In CVS, they just said they made $8 billion last year, something like that. It's not a revenue shortage. So what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Let's see if they got some more answers in this video.
In 2023, journalist Marty Schladen got a call regarding the Ohio Board of Pharmacy, the agency tasked with regulating pharmacies, including CVS.
They found unsanitary conditions in the pharmacy. They found expired drugs on the shelves. They go back a week later.
Come on, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, CVS might be finna go down. Let's see what they got to say about it. But expired drugs, unsanitary conditions in the pharmacy, absolutely unacceptable.
And find that they were still there. They found instances of mislabeling of drugs.
Insane.
Inspectors noted that the stores were severely understaffed, much like what you've seen at the.
And like I said, y'all, the question is why? Like, there's not a revenue shortage. Like, what's going on?
The front of a CVS, too few pharmacists were left with an impossible workload.
They found ridiculously long wait times to get prescriptions filled, sometimes as long as a month.
But CVS had an excuse for all of this: the pandemic. COVID had created a labor
And CVS enters the ranks of businesses within industries that blame all of their issues on the pandemic, which, I mean, I'm not going to say the pandemic was necessarily over because COVID is still floating around here and there. But like the bulk of what we experienced during the pandemic, bro, that was 2 years ago, right? And to be honest with you, everybody should have came out of the pandemic reassessing exactly how, you know, they was going to maximize revenue, maximize the customer experience going forward. It's like it's almost as if CVS knows that because a pharmacy is an essential service, they can, you know, pull back and slack off, right? And that's almost a slap in the face, considering, like I said, the appeal of the CVS is that it's your local, everyday neighborhood pharmacy, right? So, I mean, hopefully, hopefully we don't see CVS starting to go down and starting to shut down, because we actually need that. That's like almost an essential service within, you know, especially within like rural communities. So I don't know. Hopefully they can get it together.
shortage, and pharmacists were now also being tasked with giving out an unprecedented amount of vaccines. Marty, however, found a different explanation.
There was testimony before the Board of Pharmacy by former employees that even when they requested extra help and it was available, word came down from district and regional managers that we have to keep our hours down. In other words, keep expenses down.
I hate to say it because I'm an advocate for businesses everywhere, but I hate to use the term because it almost puts you in a victim mentality, but we are real life witnessing corporate greed. That's the only, when you're generating billions of dollars in revenue, there is absolutely no reason, there is no excuse for stores around the nation. There's no excuse for it to be a regular occurrence walking into a CVS that it's severely understaffed. I just told y'all earlier in the video, every time I go into CVS, there's one person working in the store. There's no reason I should be going into a store that is primarily a pharmacy, that's primarily there to sell, you know, medicine to help people, and I'm going to the front counter and I'm having to look around to try to see if there's somebody in the store that can check me out, especially if the self-checkout machine that's right there is down, which in a lot of instances it is. It's absolutely unacceptable, y'all.
Instead of filling this backlog of prescriptions, we're being told to call people and make sure that they came and picked up their autofill prescriptions.
That's insane.
Did they want to come in and get a flu shot? And the way that these employees, pharmacists and technicians, viewed it was CVS, instead of making sure it was doing its core function properly, was out chasing new dollars.
Substantiates exactly what I just said, man. Corporate greed at its finest. And again, I don't like using that term. I don't like putting labels on people, because you never really know what a company is going through behind the scenes. You never really know. But y'all, man, come on, man. When it's blatant, you gotta call it out. You gotta call a spade. And unfortunately, man, CVS, y'all, they might be getting ready to get hit with some consequences, depending on whatever this board over pharmacies is. Hopefully they take action, and hopefully, you know, they hold these people accountable to create an experience within this staple within many communities that people need. There's absolutely no reason why people should be walking into a pharmacy. You hear about that with emergency rooms and hospitals, you know, having to wait hours to be serviced. There's absolutely no reason that you should have to be waiting 45 minutes in a line to get your medication from a pharmacy that all they have to do is fill the prescription. Now, I'm not a pharmacist. Somebody correct me in the comments if you know, my take is naive to, you know, what actually goes on behind the counter at a pharmacy. But there is no reason why your wait time on a regular basis should be. It's different maybe if, you know, you're getting hit with a rush of customers in the middle of a shift change or something like that. But it's a regular occurrence at many CVS's around the nation that people are having to wait this long just to pick up a prescription. Man, that is unacceptable.
Pharmacists are the last line of defense in stopping deadly or harmful medication errors.
Right.
Doctors might accidentally prescribe a medication that dangerously interacts with another medication.
So negligence on the part of a pharmacist can potentially be deadly. But the biggest pharmacy chain in the United States of America is putting pharmacists in a position where, you know, they're severely understaffed in the pharmacy. So it's putting an unnecessary amount of work on, you know, one or two people, in potentially increasing the degree of error, which then has a trickle down effect to the consumer and can potentially be deadly to people in some circumstances. Again, this is absolutely unacceptable.
They might prescribe a drug that is less effective than newer ones to treat the same condition.
Right.
They might write the wrong dose. It is a pharmacist's job to prevent any of these scenarios. But
And like I said, I don't even necessarily blame the individual pharmacist itself. I blame the company. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely unacceptable. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments below. I'll respond to every single comment because I genuinely want to have a real conversation with you guys about these topics.